It's actually so mature, but also really vulnerable of you to actually flip that and think, well, he's a baby, I'm the grown up, and to consider that it might be something in your own behavior. That takes a lot of courage, I think, to do that. How did that feel at the time? And did you talk to people
Yeah.
about it? Did you talk to your husband about it,
Mm,
or
I did. I did.
yeah.
But that was also perhaps another challenge. He's British, I'm Swedish, and you may think that those two cultures are quite similar, which there are in many ways. But he was brought up in one way, I was brought up in a different way. But we did struggle together. I felt more emotionally vulnerable and upset, even though I wasn't able to identify that at the time. But I came to such a low point where I literally thought, what is the point of this? How can society thrive, with parents in it, if parenthood is like this? I really, really thought it was so hard. However, when I found those little nuggets of hope, because that's what really is for me, when I could see something that actually worked. I needed something tangible, and I could see the results coming out of it. It, I was unstoppable. There was nothing that could come in my way. And I felt so empowered that I knew I was onto something good. At the same time, it made me also more vulnerable to, that jigsaw puzzle piece falls into place, everything becomes so clear. But it also became clear that a lot of other people were struggling with the same thing as I did, and that became quite painful, actually. So it sort of leads me into the second, or really third season of my life, when I had learned, I'd sort of practicing this new way of communication and communicating with my family. But then I had to look deeper within me, because that phase with the communication with our children, that was so much focus on them to get that connection. But by doing so as well, I was feeding it back to my own child, and healing that phase in my life. But then the hard work really started when I really had to look at myself and my behaviors. And I know we had a quick chat about this the other day, Victoria, about certain things that I had to almost force myself to stop doing. I saw myself as the Rush family CEO. I was the one who was organizing everything from food shopping to the house to nursery and school to work, holidays, everything. I Later in life, I could joke about this because I saw myself as a big Swedish snow plough. It's one of those things they you put at the front of a
Okay.
tractor, yes,
Yeah.
that literally clears away all the snow on the roads to clear the path for everyone else behind me to have like plain sailing walking.
Yeah. I think a lot of mothers will relate to that very Swedish metaphor.
Yes. But you know what? I also wore it with pride. I used to say how much I did and how much my perhaps husband did not do, etc., etc. I had that deep need for control. I I think I was bordering on emasculating my husband. I did not give him a chance to do any of these things because I had to do it. But at the same time, I was feeling really unfulfilled. I had it all with the family, the house, the work, everything, but I still felt quite empty, for myself. And this is really when I started trying to understand, what was coming next. And I had to start actually sitting on my skills. I literally had to sit on my hands and be quiet a lot of the time. I had to stop doing things like going to the supermarket. I had to force myself not to do it. Only to practice for myself to listen more to others, but also foremost to myself, to really give me that time in quietness to see what was actually coming up within me. It was so hard. It was so challenging. So I didn't have the vocabulary, but also I don't think I really wanted to listen to what was coming up.
Yeah.
Um, and that was a really, really challenging time in my life, but it was also so rewarding because the more I practiced, the easier my life became, the calmer I became. I had more quality time with people I love, and I didn't have so much drama in my life. Nothing really sort of came towards me. It all went very peaceful and quiet. And that's when I obviously realized I was onto something really, really
Yeah.
interesting.